In the forgotten outskirts of a desolate town, a dilapidated asylum loomed like a nightmarish sentinel. The windows, shattered and vacant, stared out like hollow eyes onto a landscape consumed by decay. A chilling wind whispered through the skeletal remains of the surrounding trees, carrying with it the distant wails of forgotten souls. Known as Hallhurst Sanatorium, the asylum had been abandoned for decades, its walls cloaked in an oppressive silence that belied the horrors once unleashed within. Rumors spoke of a malevolent presence lingering within the decaying corridors, a force that fed on the fear of those brave enough, or foolish enough, to venture inside. On the outskirts of town, a group of friends seeking thrills decided to test their courage in the shadow of Hallhurst. Among them was Jake, the self-proclaimed skeptic, and Emma, who harbored an inexplicable fascination with the macabre. Their journey into the heart of darkness began on a moonless night, guided only by the feeble glow of flashlights that struggled to pierce the all-encompassing black. The air grew colder as they approached the asylum's rusted gates, their hinges screeching in protest as they swung open with an otherworldly groan. The friends hesitated, casting uneasy glances at each other, but the lure of the unknown beckoned them forward. With trepidation, they crossed the threshold into the forsaken realm of Hallhurst. Inside, the atmosphere weighed heavy upon them, a palpable sense of malevolence that clung to the air. The asylum's hallways, now in disrepair, echoed with phantom footsteps and the ghostly murmurings of the past. Shadows seemed to dance along the walls, taking on shapes that defied the logic of the living. As they delved deeper, the group stumbled upon the asylum's long-forgotten patient records, each folder a testament to the tormented souls who once sought refuge within Hallhurst. Emma, driven by a morbid curiosity, began leafing through the pages, her eyes widening at the tales of madness, despair, and experimental treatments gone awry. The flickering light of their flashlights revealed graffiti-covered walls adorned with cryptic symbols and unsettling messages. Jake scoffed at the superstitious drawings, dismissing them as the products of overactive imaginations. Yet an unease settled in the pit of his stomach as the walls seemed to close in, whispering secrets only the asylum's forsaken walls could know. In a decaying recreation room, the friends encountered a broken piano that emitted dissonant notes, as if played by unseen hands. The air grew thick with an otherworldly melody that clawed at their sanity. The group exchanged nervous glances, their composure unraveling as the haunting tune echoed through the desolate corridors. As they ventured into the asylum's bowels, a flickering light drew their attention to a narrow staircase leading to the basement, a realm untouched by the living for decades. Reluctantly, they descended into the abyss, the air damp and suffocating, the darkness seemingly alive with unseen horrors. In the subterranean gloom, they stumbled upon a series of dimly lit cells, each harboring the remnants of tormented souls. Cold breaths whispered against their necks, and phantom footsteps echoed in the suffocating silence. Shadows clung to the walls, contorting into grotesque shapes that seemed to mock the intruders. As they reached the heart of the basement, they discovered an abandoned surgical theater, its rusty instruments glistening in the dim light. The air grew thick with the stench of antiseptic and decay, and an unsettling presence hung in the air like a malevolent fog. Emma, guided by an unseen force, uncovered a blood-stained operating table that bore witness to unspeakable atrocities. A flicker of movement caught their eye. A spectral figure, clad in tattered hospital attire, drifted across the room. Panic set in as the group realized they were not alone. The apparition, a tortured soul trapped in the asylum's twisted history, reached out with spectral hands, its anguished moans echoing through the desolate halls. Desperation fueled their flight as the friends raced back through the labyrinthine corridors, the ghostly figure in pursuit. Doors slammed shut behind them, trapping them in a nightmarish maze. The air reverberated with agonized cries, and the walls seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy, as if the very essence of Hallhurst had come alive. In a final confrontation, the group found themselves cornered in the asylum's decaying chapel, where flickering candles cast long, dancing shadows. The ghostly figure materialized before them, its eyes pleading for release from the eternal torment that bound it to Hallhurst. Driven by a newfound resolve, Emma, with tearful eyes, recited an ancient incantation she discovered in the forbidden records. A surge of ethereal light enveloped the chapel as the malevolent force recoiled, its spectral form dissipating into the abyss. The oppressive presence lifted, leaving behind a silence that echoed with the sighs of liberated souls. As dawn broke, the friends emerged from Hallhurst, the asylum now silent and still. The once haunted building, touched by the passage of a spectral exorcism, stood as a testament to the thin veil between the living and the dead. The friends, forever changed by their nightmarish ordeal, carried with them the weight of a tale that would haunt their dreams for years to come, a tale of an abandoned asylum and the lingering specters of the past.